Hello and welcome to Spirit of Life. I'm Mirella Rich. Today our guest is Maria Nguyen, and she's just recently got involved with the Seventh-day Adventists, so we're going to hear about her story and also biblical verses that relate to health and hygiene. Welcome to the program. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Now, you've recently become a Seventh-day Adventist or got involved in the Seventh-day Adventists. Can you tell us a little bit about what led you there?
What led me there was that they are a plant-based church, and it really made me feel like there's a big shaking in my life to work on health and to see that food connects to our health. And I had two family members that passed away in their 40s.
Oh, gee.
And so it really made me like configure what is the right thing to do. Are we just going to continue on living the way that we are as a family that has such a high genetic of cancers running in our family? Or just, wait for the inevitable. And I wasn't going to be complacent about that. So it really shook me to become a bit more meticulous about my health.
Wow.
And so the Seventh-day Adventists, I remember coming across to one of the article that had showed on the American news that they had discovered this congregation in California that have a high rate of elderly people thriving in the 80s and 90s. And they give a lot of the accreditation to biblical verses that promote the plant-based, as well as them living it and breathing it as well. So they were also under the blue zone as well, so that also helped out. But just to hear that made me just want to know more about the Seventh-day Adventists.
And so where did you start your research into the Seventh-day Adventists and when?
The research didn't actually happen per se, but I had the direct experience of going to one of their retreats during Victoria's lockdown. So it was during their stage 4. So what had happened was a friend of mine had found an invitation from a Seventh-day Adventist member who thought it would be a good idea that he may experience this Make It Heals retreat program because he's got a background of detoxification and he's also a Christian as well. So she thought that he'll be a fantastic candidate. He read the description and he actually denied it. But the good thing about that was he thought of me. He read it and he said, this is more aligned to me.
What you like.
And he sent the invitation. And I went off there and experienced the Seventh-day Adventist health retreat. So,
and you physically went there, did you?
Yeah, I went there and I learned so much from them. So what their retreat is all about is it's not just practical health information and knowledge. They want to ensure that every person that comes and experiences their health retreat, the foundation must be from the Bible.
Yes.
And everything will fall into place because there's a reason why they chose the headline, the Maker Heals, because God heals us. He's designed us and He knows how to heal us. It's just that we have corrupted our own mind and our own temples when all the laws are pretty much in the Bible. That's the thing about free will is He's not a tyrannical God that tells us do this or this or else. He allows us to, freedom. And then, when we humble ourselves and submit ourselves to God, that's when He can do the work on us because we will be honoring His laws, not our own.
Wow, and that's also another verse, I am the Lord who heals, Exodus 15:26.
Amen.
There's a song about that. I am the Lord who heals you. So that's a beautiful song if you ever want to look that up. So then that led you to the retreat, and from the retreat you sort of got to know people there, and what happened from then on?
Well,
you tried the diet?
I definitely did the diet. The first 3 days was a shock to the system. I'm glad that I didn't actually recall.
Detoxing?
I'm glad that I didn't know because I think that I would have cheated and bought like a little snack pack or something like that. But it really teaches you that you can do it because I think the thing with detoxing is people throw it in the towel when they find discomfort, they find weakness, and they blame their own lies, saying this doesn't work. But the matter of fact is, we all had to go through the pain and suffering in order to receive the benefits of that. I mean, nothing easy is
nothing comes along easy. You've
That's
got to go
it.
through a bit of a sacrifice to get it.
That's how it is.
And then
yeah.
you feel so much better. But the thing is, when people start to eat, like say for example, a raw vegan diet or even a plant-based diet, they'll have detox because they'll be missing what their body's used to. Like they're used to this meat or this whatever they were eating before. It's a matter of the body changing. But then once you do it, it's like coming out of a cocoon, a butterfly coming out of a cocoon.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you're expelling all these toxins.
Yeah.
So our body is working harder to eject all these out. And of course, it's going to be really discomforting. You're going to get the headaches. You're going to get, things coming out from your pores, which I know that in Dr. Morse's community group, like you'll see horrendous things and people just look at it as a sign as their body's breaking down. But no, that's just expelling something that doesn't belong in your body.
Exactly.
And the intelligence that's doing is just removing out. So,
That's it, exactly.
The way that the body functions best is to have good blood, and that is nutrients from plant-based foods and good circulation and oxygen. So those are the two components you have to consider in order to rebuild and make yourself new again.
And do they talk much about the power of the sun, being out in the sun and the fresh air and sunlight and grounding?
Yeah, so they've got an acronym called NewStar, and N stands for nutrition, E stands for exercise, W stands for water, S stands for sunshine, T stands for temperance, A stands for air, and I'm up to T. T stands for trust, and trust is in trusting God.
Yes.
So, you know, it's a holistic approach, and we need all these components to thrive as a human being.
And that's powerful as well, just to trust. Like people worry, and in the Bible it says, be anxious for nothing. And you can change it to be calm for everything.
That's
it could be translation. But, we just need to trust. It's the bottom line is we need to trust God, that he loves us, trust Jesus, that he loves us, that he's got our back, so to speak, and just follow the straight and narrow path.
That's it.
All right, well, we're going to go to a break now, but we'll be back with more, and you can tell us about these books when we return.
Will do.
You're watching Spirit of Life. I hope you're enjoying the program, and we'll see you again very shortly. Hello and welcome back to Spirit of Life. I'm Mirella Rich. We're here with Maria Nguyen and we're talking about her experience with the Seventh-day Adventist group. Welcome back to the program, Maria.
Thank you.
And so tell us a little bit about the books. These are the Seventh-day Adventist books, yes?
I hope to say all these are very, very relevant to get one started with their belief and their health practices. But just like this book here, The Maker Heals.
Yep.
So it begins with the page about like having the spirit to govern the mind and the mind govern the body.
Yeah.
And we need the Bible as our foundation before we start anything else, because that will be able for us to walk that narrow road.
Yeah.
And we
Stay
don't
on the straight and
stumble
narrow.
upon our emotions. We don't stumble about people's opinions or the pressures of this world. So you're anchored in Christ and in truth.
Yeah, that's
and so
powerful.
it's so important that we have the Bible here as our foundation first to understand wisdom and knowledge from that.
Yeah.
And I love this book, The Desire of Ages. Now, I've met many people that happen to say this is one of the game changers they've had.
Wow.
Because once you read this book, it's a compilation of Jesus, the story of Jesus. So when you read the New Testament, you're getting a very, very thorough and beautifully written book about Jesus with this book, The Desire of Ages.
Wow.
So when you read this, you feel like you're having an intimate relationship with Jesus, and you get to understand like more of his heart, more of his mind, more of his intent.
Yeah.
And it really delves in so many levels to who Jesus is. And when you keep on reading these books, the more that you emulate who Jesus is, so your character becomes transformed.
Yeah.
So these two are the first things to have foundation in your faith in Christ. And once you're in this world, it's you can call it almost insurance policies, or
Yeah,
like you are bulletproof.
Well, there's a Bible verse, isn't it? I think one of the saints say it is not I who live, but Christ who lives in me. That's what he wants it to be. So he doesn't want it to be him who lives, but Christ who lives in me. So it's very powerful to be reading a book about Jesus. Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And on top of that, we have these other books here. So the Maker Hills, this booklet here comes as you joined the program. It's called the Maker Hills.
Yeah.
If anyone's interested, the recent one that's going to come out would be end of June to July.
Yes. Oh, okay.
But they've got other retreats in other states in Australia as well.
Beautiful. Oh, wow.
And I highly recommend one in South Australia because I recently experienced their program last year, November.
Oh, you went there.
And it was a huge game changer for me. It really elevated my spiritual and my faith practice to another level.
Wow.
And I really refined my character from leaving that program, because you're immersed with people that are God-like. And I didn't realize how much I was, what would you call it?
Worldly?
Lukewarm.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was a lukewarm Christian. And once I had gone through my second round of Maker Hills, it really refined me. And each day I am, but it really chipped a lot of my secular and my flesh desires. So it really helped me to progress so much.
So much more spiritually.
Exactly,
Oh, that's so beautiful. And what are the other books in the
other
middle?
books here is the Ministry of Healing. This is also part of the literature that they give to you when you're in that program. This one here was a book I collected from a gentleman named Francis. Now, he gives out free content in front of the Melbourne State Library on Swanston Street. So if anyone would like to get their hands on these books, do visit Francis.
All Seventh-day Adventist books?
Yes, all these are Seventh-day Adventist books. So I've got the Maker Hills is exclusively from the program, but you can get your hands on the Council on Diet and Foods.
Oh, wow.
This one here is the International Meat Crisis Exposed.
Wow.
And the Ministry of Health and Healing.
Beautiful.
And a must.
Yeah, a must. That's
this
your
is
favourite.
the foundation.
Oh, gee.
The Desire of Ages. So these books you can find from a gentleman named Francis. So he gives them out, and you get to know him as well.
He gives them out. That's so nice.
Yeah, so you'll find him in State Library on Wednesdays on Swanston Street. Yeah.
Oh, how beautiful. And how do you feel like you have changed as a person since you started to get involved with improving your health, healthy choice food lifestyle, and also your spirituality?
It's always an ongoing battle. I'm not going to lie about that. And it's just having to know that I don't have to do the battles on my own. I just have to trust in God. And let God take the wheel.
That's
when I'm in my weakest moments, it's like, God, just take over the wheel. And very instantly, I am removed from my own.
Yeah. Because we feel like, oh, we've got to do this. We've got to, like, there's even a song, you need to be this. They're making a joke of it, like, you need to be this, you need to be this. But you're perfect the way you are, because you're made in the image and likeness of God. So we don't need to be anything. We just need to trust in Jesus, trust in God, isn't it?
That's it.
It's crazy because everyone is trying to compete with each other to be better than each other, and there's no need for any of that.
They create this matrix of this illusion. You got to be this, you got to be that, and it's just a distraction. That's what it is.
It is
to avoid us to be like Christ, at what has been ordained for us.
That's it. It's that stillness and silence, like Jesus. If you just take a moment, everyone watching this, just think. Jesus is right here, wherever you are, right here with us now. Right here. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to worry about. Just feel his love. Feel his presence with you. That's all we need to do, because he's there. It's just, he's not intrusive. He's not a show-off. He's not anything like that. He's just there quiet. So when you get quiet within yourself, you'll feel him.
I love that, because what is in our way is our egos and pride, and that's a characteristic of Satan. So we're dealing with two different spirits.
Yeah.
Satan and there's God, and they completely hold different fruits.
So true.
We got to be discerning all the time, because sometimes the pride and ego feels good, but it's not good. It's not right. It's not righteousness.
It's not right unless it's peace, That's when you know you're doing the right thing, when you feel peace about it. A certain peace tells you, actually, I'm on the right track. But with that, we have to go to a break.
Okay.
You're watching Spirit of Life. Hope you're enjoying the program and you feel Jesus' presence. We'll be back very shortly. Hello and welcome back to Spirit of Life. I'm Mirella Rich and we're here with Maria Nguyen and we're talking about biblical verses that refer to our eating healthy and our spirituality. Welcome back to the program, Maria.
Thank you.
So I thought I might read that Daniel diet out because we did that in the first program. So it says Daniel 1:12-16. He said, "Please give us this test for 10 days. Don't give us anything but vegetables to eat and water to drink. Then after 10 days, compare us with the other young men who eat the king's food. See for yourself who looks healthier, and then decide how you want to treat us, your servants." So the guard agreed to test Daniel, Hananiah, and Mishael and Azariah. I'm probably ruining those names, but anyway, for 10 days. After 10 days, Daniel and his friends looked healthier. Then all the young men who ate the king's food, they looked healthier than all the men that ate the king's food. So the guard continued to take away the king's special food and wine and to give only vegetables to Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael and Azariah. So that's the proof in the fruit, in the vegetables in this case. But yeah, so it's powerful, isn't it? Because we were talking about the Daniel diet in the previous show.
Yes.
And you started it yourself. How long did you manage to do it for?
Well, I've gone for like a few months in with
Wow.
it. And I could say that I lost unwanted extra weight, unfortunately, with that. But I was being very, very physically active. So the amount of calories in, I was actually burning more calories. So I was drinking more than I had hoped to. And the good thing about what I've done is although I lost some weight, there was still a glow.
Yeah.
I might have been slightly under my BMI. However, my spiritual faith and sensation, I was so strong in that while I was denying the flesh. Because food is a stimulant.
Yes, yeah.
And then, you feel that dance and then you were kind of like compromising. You're either in the flesh or either in the spirit. And so when I was in this Daniel diet, I had a heightened sensation of being in the Spirit with God in prayer. Yeah. And I was very sensitive. I just found myself bursting and crying because the Holy Spirit would just give me a message there and it would just be so profound and hit the heart and I would just cry. And I found myself in this blissful awe of love and knowing that I'm with God all the time because I was denying what would stimulate the flesh and the mind. So
that's so powerful.
Proof in that pudding.
It's so true. I remember I did 6 months just on raw vegan, raw fruit and vegetables, and then after the 6 months, or it might have been longer, after that time, I thought I'll have a cup of coffee, and I had a cup of coffee, and I couldn't sleep for like 3 days because it was so stimulating for me. I hadn't been used to it. So you notice it affects you different.
Absolutely,
food.
And you find that your taste palette is very sensitive as well. You can actually appreciate a spinach, just no salt, nothing. You just really feel it and enjoy it at its natural form.
That's true. You appreciate food just as it is. Anyway, so I'll read some other Bible verses. Cast your cares upon him, for he cares for you. Peter. This is 1 Peter 5:7. Cast your cares upon him, for he cares for you. We need to really start doing that a bit more, isn't it? Just trusting in Jesus with all the daily niggles, things that are niggling us or worrying us. Have you got experience with that where you've just let go and trusted in God for things?
There's this term I said, Jesus, take the wheel. When I know that I cannot do it in my own strength, through my own will, I surrender.
Yeah.
Although my pride and ego is like, no, I can do it. I'm self-sufficient. I'm independent.
Yeah.
Like I realize I can't actually carry this on because I'm just lying to myself. So I have to deny myself and know that only with God that can actually work through me is me having to have humility and submit to God.
So powerful,
So there's a lot of like remembering that and reiterating it again and again and again, knowing that I just have to continually die from my carnal mind and my flesh so that Spirit can work through me and I continually humble myself.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And the other one is, I mentioned a bit earlier, be anxious for nothing. Philippians 4:6. So that means don't be anxious about anything. Like really, we need to, that's how much we need to trust.
Trust.
Because you feel like if you're not in control, something's wrong. But it's so different if you let go and just trust, isn't it? It's hard to do because it's like you can't see God, you can't visibly see Him taking the wheel. Don't do it while you're driving, please. Just in case. But anyway, so the next one is you need not that any man teach you. 1 John 2:7. And they shall be taught, and they shall be all taught of God. John 6:4-5. Wow, that's a beautiful one, isn't it? You don't need to look to others to help you. Just go straight to God.
Go to the source.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Trust that God's there. He's got you. He's got us. You know.
And that's the thing. It's like that's the most important thing about like having a relationship with God. And I was learning this through my church about. There's two different approaches that some people feel that makes them Christian. And, there's this legality where we have to follow policies and procedures, which, as we try to be Christian, we can fall into that. And that is like being the Pharisees and Sadducees mindset where they were so strong-headed about all these laws that they was more consumed with it.
Yeah.
Whereas Jesus had showed us how to submit to the laws, which is you got to have it from love.
Yeah.
You'll only do the right thing because there's real love behind it.
Yeah.
But sometimes it can be governed by the wrong spirit, which is fear.
Yeah.
We do it because of fear, or is it because of love? You can do what's right, but is it governed by fear or is it governed by love? And legalities is that thing where sometimes we can possess that, but then it actually fails from us being really intimate with God because God doesn't want us to be institutionalized by Satan's matrix. He wants us to come with love and everything will fall together
place.
naturally.
Yeah.
We just want to submit to
Beautiful. Well, we've come to the end of the program, but thank you so much for coming on the program. It's been wonderful having you here.
Thank you.
Have you enjoyed yourself?
I do.
Thoroughly.
Thanks.
Beautiful. Well, you've been watching Spirit of Life. I'm Mirella Rich and our guest was Maria Nguyen. I hope you enjoy the program and may you feel Jesus' presence with you, guiding you and God guiding you wherever you go through your life. And we need to let go and trust together. Hold hands together and trust. Bye for now.